Hey, Facebook friends, it's Melody Reynolds. I'm coming to you today to talk with you about the P word and how you can make your life matter. When you come to the end of your life and you look back, you're going to say, my life mattered. I made an impact. I did the things I wanted to do. I did the things I was called to do. So we're going to get into it right now. But first, let me tell you who I am. Hey, Michelle. I'm Melody Reynolds. I'm an intentional living coach. And so I just help you to do things to simplify your life. I am a, bottom line, straight to the point kind of girl. And so I have learned what things to cut out of my life that distracted me, that stressed me out, that wore me down. And I've learned what things that I need to focus on to be happy, to be healthy, to feel like my time here matters. And so that's what I share with you here, because for me it's faith, it's health, focusing on your health. So I share Bible study tips, I share health tips, I share about essential oils because they're all over the Bible and they're amazing. They have worked so many wonderful ways in mine and my family's life. And so I share about those here, and anything that I figure out that simplifies my life, I share it with you. So and if you would please take the time to share this out, let's be a blessing. I know there's been tons and tons of negative things on Facebook. And guys, listen, we need to be a light. We need to be a bright light for people. So sometimes that means sharing good quality content that's going to bless somebody instead of a lot of things that when we see it in our feeds, we want to throw our phones down and not even look at Facebook for the next week. So let's be different. Let's be a light. Let's share the love. And if you're here, make sure to say, hey, I like to see you. I always say, you never just happen into one of my broadcasts. You're here for a divine purpose. I believe in divine connections. And this is how I connect with people. Through social media, through my phone, in my little office, dining room, classroom. This is how I connect with people. This is how I am a light. So if you would please share that, and then also comment, because I like to see your face. I like to interact with you. I get bored if I don't see who I'm talking to. And if you're on the replay, comment replay, because I like to see your face that way too. And I love that you guys take the time to hear what I have to say. So thank you for honoring me with that. And I do see that as a big honor. So what's the P word? You're like, okay, lady, get to it. What's the P word? What's the P word? What's the P word? So the P word is your priorities. And I think sometimes a lot of us think we have our priorities figured out. But if you take a minute, and I did this, I'm very much into personal growth. I'm into learning. I always try to improve on myself every single day. I try to learn something new, do something with more wisdom in any way that I possibly can. I'm not happy if I'm not growing as a person. I just feel like that's part of my purpose is to continue to grow, and that's how we step into being who we're called to be. We have to grow into it. We're not just always born that way. So let's think about your priorities for a minute. Most of us think, well, I know what my priorities are, but do you really? Have you ever sat down and wrote out your priorities? Like, take old school here for a minute. Like, just be old school with me for just a minute. Take a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen. Go outside, find a quiet spot, or if you're not an outside person, go to your bedroom, go somewhere where there's a quiet spot, and list out all of your priorities. And what I mean by priorities, what's most important to you in your life? I'll give you some examples of mine, and why I'm telling you to write these out is because when you process it by really giving it the attention and time that it needs, and you make a list of your priorities, then I want you to pay attention to, are you focusing on those priorities? Are they really priorities? Or are they something that you say are priorities, but they're not getting much time in your life? And no judgment here. Listen, we've all been there. We've all said, this is a priority, and we spend no time on it. So then, is it truly a priority in your life? And that's what I want you to think about today. When I had to do this, I took a course, and we had to write down our priorities, and then we had to decide what our key priority was, our main focus. And then every 6 months you go back and you look at your list of priorities and you see if you need to shift that. So it will help you to be intentional with your time, and hopefully in looking at those things, make time for each one of them. So let me give you examples. I'm a teacher by nature, so here are some examples for you. I'll tell you my priorities. My top priority is my faith. No big surprise. If you're new here, it might be a surprise to you, but those of you that know me, you know that my faith is my first priority. And I truly believe that that has to be my first priority, because I need God for everything. And I need God to be a part of my life in every aspect that I do. I need Him in every relationship. I need Him in my business. I need Him in my life. I need Him in my relationships, everything. I need Him everywhere. So that means that has to be my top priority. And in order for me to honor that, that means I have to make room for it in my life. Faith to me is not, praying every once in a while, getting into my Bible when I feel like it. It's not going to a church where I don't feel fed, because it's what I should do. One thing you'll learn about me here on the page, I'm not religious. I just love Jesus. I don't like religion. I love Jesus. But for me, that means I have to make time to spend time with God. By spending time, some of you are like, what do you mean spend time with God? What does that mean? What does that look like? For me, that means getting into my Bible at least 5 days a week in some form or fashion. Doesn't have to be an hour every day. It could be as little, as 5 or 10 minutes. I like to stay an hour because I just love my Bible. It makes me happy to read it. I feel like I learn something every time I read it. I feel like God gives me something for the day or maybe that week that I really needed to hear. So I feel like I'm like super white and I can't get the camera. It's because I've got on black. Oh, sorry. Probably made it worse. Okay. Sorry. Squirrel moment. It also looks like praying. A lot of times at the end of my day, I'll go outside and walk in my yard, and that's where I pray. And if it gets cold, I go in my bedroom and I shut the door, and that's where I pray. Now, I know some of you may have kids and you're like, they're crazy, get up earlier. I had to do that at one point. Now my daughter is 11. I can say, Mommy's going to pray, go into the bedroom, shut the door. I have privacy. If she needs me, she'll come get me, but she knows, listen, I'm talking to Jesus. Don't interrupt unless you really need something. Because I've made it a priority in my home. Some days it may be I turn on worship music and I just let it sink into my soul. I let it minister to me. I let it uplift me. On the days when I feel like I don't know what to pray because I'm hurting so much, or I'm, maybe angry about a situation. Sometimes I'll just be honest with you. Sometimes I get angry about situations and I don't have the words to pray other than help me understand, Lord. So I'll turn on worship music and I let myself soak it in. I'll let it, really penetrate my spirit. So, but I have to plan time for that. So I literally, and you may not be a planner person, but I have a planner and I plan out my days, because that is the only way that I make sure what needs to get done actually gets done. Because I don't know about you, you can drop a 1 in the comments, even if you're on the replay. Do you ever look at a day or a week or a month and go, what did I do? What did I do today? What did I do this week? Because you didn't really plan for it. You didn't make sure that it was going to happen. So I have learned the things I want to happen. Michelle says 1. Yes. The things I want to happen have to be planned into my day, or they're just not going to happen. And I like to check things off too, by the way. I like to write things down and put a check mark by them. It gives me like this insane satisfaction. I've been like that since middle school. I would get homework assignments, I would write them down, and when I could check them off, I just felt like, yeah, I'm a boss. You know what I mean? I was like, woo! Now, do I get everything checked off every day? No, never. Probably never, because I'm very ambitious with what I plan to do. But as long as I get most of it done, I'm cool. So I actually plan the first part of my day to be my time with God, because my faith is a priority. My second priority is my family. And this is something I want you to really hear, because I heard this a while back and it convicted me. So it was something I needed to hear. And when I say convicted, I don't mean condemnation. It didn't make me feel guilty. It didn't make me feel bad. It was just the Holy Spirit going, hey, this is for you. You ever had that happen? He's like, So I heard someone very wise say, you have to save your energy for the relationships in your life, specifically for your spouse and for your children. And he made a very good point. He said, if I expend all my energy every day with all the things that I'm pulled at, because he was talking about narrowing your priorities and making sure that you're only focusing on the important things. But he said, it's very easy to let unimportant things drain you all day. And then you go home to your spouse and you're irritable, you're not patient, you're not very nice sometimes, and you're too exhausted to spend time with your spouse, to do things with your kid. Hey Kim, I didn't see you come in. Yeah, and that really spoke to me, because I think a lot of us, I know I sure do, I get very caught up in all my goals and things that I want to do. And I run a business from home and I homeschool. So those things have to get done every day and they take energy. And the older I get, the more energy is an issue. I have to be a very good steward of my energy. So you have to not expend yourself. This is why it's important to learn to say no to certain things. If somebody asks you to do something that's not really lining up with your priorities and where you want to spend your time, you've got to learn to say no and be okay with it. Because by saying no to something else, you are hopefully stewarding your time and your energy well, so that you can put that into your relationships. If you're always tired, you're going to turn your husband down more. You don't want to do that. If you're always tired, you're not going to want to play with the kids in the backyard. So that really spoke to me, in that I've got to make it a priority that my energy is where I want it to be, where is most important to me. And sometimes that means saying no to people, or saying you'll have to wait 24 hours because your emergency doesn't automatically become my emergency. I will help you when I'm able to, right? Yeah, it's okay to say no. Absolutely. We have to get comfortable with that. That's where a lot of our overwhelm comes from. We think we're rude by saying no, or we don't want to let people down. We don't want to disappoint anybody. We're kind of flattered that people ask us to do stuff, and then we say yes. And have you ever said yes to something and then you immediately go, why did I say yes to that? Why did I just do that? I don't want to do that. Yeah, that's been me, and I've learned to lovingly say, I really just can't do that. I just don't have the time right now. So then number 3, my health. My health has to be a priority. I cannot take care of all these things. I can't homeschool, run a business, be a wife, be a mom, take care of my home, take care of friendships. I can't do all of that if I feel horrible, if I'm sick, if I'm having a flare-up. Because I have a lot of chronic issues that I've been fighting now for about 10, 15 years. You know, arthritis, IBS, anxiety and depression, TMJ, several pulled muscles. I have a pulled muscle in my neck, one in my back, a torn tendon. I have a lot. If you look at me, sometimes people are like, wow. And added to that, after turning 40, crazy hormones. Crazy hormones. But I have learned that my health must be a priority. So what does that look like? For me, that means I've got to eat well. I have to make the time to meal plan with my husband and figure out what our meals are ahead of time. I help him meal prep on Sundays. I'm not a cook, you all. I'm not a cook, and I'm not ashamed that I'm not a cook. Don't like it. I hate it. But I do help my husband to meal prep on the weekends so that we, throughout the week, aren't figuring out what we're going to eat and then eating garbage. Because, hello, that happens. I need to honor my body. This is the only body I get. I want to be around as long as possible for my child, for my husband, for everything. I want to hang out here, you know. I'm just fine if Jesus wants to just come back and get me. So I also have to make time to exercise. I actually just took off since March from exercising because I had adrenal fatigue, because I didn't take care of myself. I ran myself ragged. I did not manage my stress. I was a mess and I couldn't exercise. Part of recovering from adrenal fatigue is you have to stop exercising because it puts too much, not pressure, but work on your adrenal glands. Okay? Now, I'm going to say this too. You need to invest in your health. Because priorities sometimes mean you've got to prioritize that financially. So I often will hear people say, oh, you guys know I'm a Young Living Essential Oils distributor, and part of caring for myself is getting our products, our oils, our supplements, and I'm not going to go into all of that right now. But to get started, I had to come up with $160 for a kit of oils that literally helped me to go from sick and in bed every day to feeling better and able to function and eventually able to start getting fit. All of that started with my kit of oils. And that's why I share on here with you how I use them. I have to be careful because the FDA doesn't allow me to say, I use this for this ailment. I can say it supports my body in this way. So you kind of have to pay attention to how I say things, unless you want to have a one-on-one chat. But you have to pay attention to how I say things. Guys, I was on 12 medications just to function. I'm now on 3 and hoping to be off of them one day. We trust too much in synthetic medication. It has tons of side effects. And that's why I was bedridden. Yeah, I was taking something for this, but it was causing me to feel tired. I was taking something for this, but it caused my joints to hurt more. I was taking something for depression, and it made me not care. It made me have no empathy and just not care. I didn't care if the bills got paid. I didn't care if the dog got put out for, to go to the bathroom. I didn't care if the house got clean. So when somebody says, oh, well, $160, I don't know, that sounds like a lot. Listen, if $160 would take you from feeling like crap to being back to who you were, I ask you this, could you not find the money somewhere? Like, cut out your Starbucks. I had to charge mine, and I tell people this a lot. I charged my kit because my health became a priority when it failed. It should have been a priority long before that. But because I was in bed and had a child and couldn't be her mom, I had to find something else because all those 12 medicines I was taking didn't help me. And I didn't know there was something better until I believed the Lord put it in front of me. And yes, we were dead broke. Guess what I did? I had one credit card that had like $200 on it. The kit was $160 in shipping. And I kid you not, when my kit arrived at my house, I opened the box, and within 5 minutes, with the Lord as my witness, within 5 minutes, I had an experience with that oil that changed my life. Because it helped me with the body's natural response to injury. Think about what I'm saying here. That I had suffered with for 2 straight years. It instantly took away that feeling. Remember, I'm a doctor. I can't straight tell you in public on social media exactly what that is. But if you think about what I'm saying, you'll catch it. Kim says, yes, we have to make decisions based on our own energy, abilities, and time. Right. Not on what others can do. And this is why I do passionately share about oils. I know they can help a lot of people that were like me. I know for a fact without our products, I would still be bedridden. It helped me to get above the wellness line and back to my body functioning. Do I still have flare-ups? Yes. Sometimes I eat things I shouldn't. I'm human. You know, if I go to a birthday party and there's something there I probably shouldn't eat, I usually indulge and I might cause myself a flare-up. I may overdo it exercising and cause myself a flare-up. But our products are tools to help me. So I make it a priority every month to order those products. I take it from, and listen, I'm a homeschool mom on a budget. I can't stand when people say, well, there's no way I can afford that, because that's a lie. Shift your money from somewhere else. Give up something. There are months that I had to let cable go so that I could get my order because it's a priority for me. I need the things that give me energy and make me feel better. I need those products because I need to be at the top of my game to take care of the people I love and to enjoy my life. We are not here to exist and be in pain and be miserable all the time. So you can make anything happen. If you need to join a gym, I made the investment of getting equipment to make my own gym in my basement because I'm an introvert. I don't want to be out around crowds of people. I really don't like sweating and exercising in front of people. Some people love it. I think that's great. I'd rather be at home. And so I invested first in a treadmill, and then I got a total gym, and then I got a Pilates machine. And I paid on a monthly. I think I got all of them from, what is that? QVC. QVC. The only things I ever ordered from there that were worth anything. And I never order from there now. But they do have great equipment. And you can buy it and pay on it. Why did I do that? Because it was a priority for me to get better. And right now, today, I'm going to start exercising again. I'm going to go into my basement because I don't have the excuse. I don't want to get out. I don't want to get around people. I don't, blah, 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 all those excuses we have. My excuse is I got to walk downstairs because I invested in my health. So buy the food that's good for you. Take the time to cook it, to plan your meals. Buy things that make you feel better. Quality products. Because I guarantee you, if you're drinking energy drinks and all that kind of stuff, you're spending way more than you even know just to survive. I know, I've been there. So the fourth, I've got two more. The fourth one for me is my family's health. So I want to be healthy so I can take care of everybody, but I also want my family to be healthy. So all the same things apply. All of my family takes our supplements. We all take our supplements. We all use the oils that I talk about all the time. We all use the gym. Me more than anybody else. I kind of have to like fuss about people getting into the gym. But it's a priority that we have good food. So if something in my budget can go so that I can get fresh fruits and vegetables, then I will cut something, or I will sell something on eBay. I will make it happen. Now I have a business where I make money, so it helps. We can afford good fresh food for our family. It makes a difference. It makes a huge difference. So, and I make time for us to do things as a family for our health. And I have to say this too. It's not just your physical health you need to make a priority. Your mental health needs to be a priority. You need to do things just for you. And I know this is very hard if you're a mom and you're a wife and you have all these people to take care of and all these things to do. You have got to do something for yourself and not feel guilty about it. I don't know what fills you up. For me, I like to go outside. I love to listen to music. I like to have alone time. Sometimes I get in my car and I drive an old country road for an hour and sing at the top of my lungs with my roof open and my windows down. And I probably look like a crazy person because I really rock it out. But I need that. I need that just for me. I need some time just for me to get back and centered into being me. Also, if you need, if you feel overwhelmed and you feel hopeless, reach out to somebody. Don't be afraid to admit that you're feeling like that. That's part of taking care of your mental health. If you need to see a counselor, see a counselor. There's no shame in that. Find a good one, because there's a lot of not good ones out there. Seek counseling. Find a good friend and, have a cup of coffee. Keep a journal. Whatever you need to do for you, do it. Because I know so many people struggle with their mental health, and it's because they don't ever do anything for themselves. Like, you feel like you start to resent people. You start to resent your family. I talk about things people may not be comfortable saying, but they think them. You start to resent your family when you think, well, there's never anything just for me. I mean, maybe it's going uptown and getting an ice cream, for crying out loud. Whatever you need to make you feel like you remember who you are, you get back to being you, do that. Because if you're frazzled and burnt out all the time, that is going to wear on your physical health, and that is going to cause problems in your relationships. The last one for me is my business. Now, this may be different for you. This might be a career. This might be a side hustle. Maybe you like to paint and sell things. Maybe you do pottery. For me, my business is a priority because I want to retire my husband. I'm looking at my notes. I want to retire my husband. My husband works very, very hard. It's very physically demanding, and you all know how it is when you work in the workplace. It can also be very mentally demanding. He comes home a lot of days exhausted. He has taken care of me. I've been home now for 7 years. He has taken care of myself and my daughter, and the only way, he's going to have to work there a really long time if it just depends on him. So when I started my business and saw that I could actually make money by sharing Young Living products that I'm already using. And by money, I mean enough to retire my husband. What a gift. What a gift. My business is not just about things I can get. It's about making a better life for my family. For my husband to be home would be amazing. For him to be home working with me, would be absolutely amazing. For him, for myself, for my daughter. Would give us a lot of flexibility. And I want to help other people do things like that. My business is a big passion for me because it's my ministry. It's why I started this page in the first place. And it led to sharing Bible study things and prayer and all of that. My business is bigger than just me. I don't have tiny goals anymore. My first goal is to retire my husband. After that, it's to move us. And after that, I want to help even more people. It can be huge. Because we'll have the income. Listen, it's hard to help people when you're broke. I mean, seriously, I've seen people who are in need, like they don't have groceries for the week. I would love to be able to buy them groceries and never let them know it was me. Or I've seen people who, one of their family members passed away and they don't have money for the funeral. I want to just send a check and say, the funeral's paid for. Don't say a word about who did it. Just tell them God loves them and be done. Do you know what a burden that would take off of a family who's grieving the loss of somebody anyway? And I want to help other people like me who they couldn't work in a regular job anymore. Like, it broke my spirit to be away from my child. I wanted to be home with my baby. And I didn't enjoy my job anymore. I had a nervous breakdown. I want people to understand you can get financially blessed by doing this. Do you have to work? Yes. You're not going to be on a beach in 3 months drinking, margaritas and making $1 million. That's not how it works. But can you use your phone and talk to people and then get a paycheck for it? That could potentially change your life. What if it just even paid for a new car or your house payment? So that's why I'm passionate about my business. It's going to be a way to give my family a better life and then bless other people as well. So I ask you to conclude. This went longer than I thought it would, but I'm giving you my heart today. Write down your priorities, and then I want you to look at, are you spending time on them really? Are you really? Take a moment, self-reflect. You don't have to tell anybody else. Don't worry. You don't have to report back to me. Look at what you're spending your time and your energy on. And really, truly, are you honoring what you want to honor in your life? Are you truly giving the time and attention to your priorities the way that you should be? And if you don't feel guilty about it. I'm not here to judge anybody. I'm not here to make anybody feel bad about anything. We all make mistakes. And my line is always, when you know better, you do better. Adjust your life. Say, hey, that girl, that Melody girl that I watch on Facebook was talking about, maybe I ought to cut some crap out of my life. Maybe I ought to say no more. Maybe I ought to save my energy for my relationships. Maybe I should do something good for my health. Maybe I should dream bigger. Step out of the box, try something new, start a business. I don't know. But look at your life and look at where your time is going and say to yourself, I need to give attention to this. And be intentional. That's why I say I'm an intentional living coach. Nothing ever happens we just sitting here and it just happened. Oh, my kids just got raised. Oh, my marriage, I got a great marriage. Nothing happens just because you want it to. You have to be intentional about working on those things. You know, you don't get healthy because you're like, I ate a salad today. Drop the mic. Oh, I had a salad today. I'm so healthy. You've got to be consistent and you've got to be intentional. So I pray that this is for somebody today. It was on my heart this morning when I woke up and I thought, that's what I'm going to do my Facebook Live about today. If this did bless you in some way and you haven't yet shared, please share it out. Let's be a blessing. Let's be a light, y'all. Be a light, be a light, be a light. The world is so dark, but we can conquer that darkness by being a light and be as bright of a light as you possibly can be. Be intentional about being a light. So I pray this blesses you. I will be back. Thanks for sharing, Michelle. I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday. Hopefully, I do have some stuff going on. I will try my very best to be back about the same time, I think, tomorrow. Look for me. If you haven't liked my page, be sure to like my page. Somewhere around the video, you can get notified when I go live. Thank you, Mark Zuckerberg. You'll get notified when I do go live, and you'll be able to hop on with me. And you know, I love live viewers. It's more fun for me. And if you can't catch it live, you'll get a notification and you can make sure you catch the replay. Because I really do enjoy you guys hopping on with me. But I'm going to do Word on Wednesday, so we'll get into the Word and do a little bit of Bible study, which is my favorite. So, that's the plan for now. I hope to see you soon, and I pray that you have a blessed day. If you want to learn anything else about me, I got Bible study stuff. I've got essential oil stuff. I will drop a link to my website, but it's melodyreynolds.com. All things me are over there. So if you want to find out about anything I just talked about today, it's over on my site. I spent a really long time building that site. So feel free to visit that and check out anything I have over there for you. All right, I'll see you soon. Bye.